Hey, good evening, YouTube. Hey, it's going to be a quick Sunday night chat to catch up on some things, housekeeping in order, and hopefully stay out of trouble. So bear with me. We'll put a link out if anybody wants to jump in. The usual, probably keep it kind of small, but come on in if you want. Let me know what's going on. I am out of touch. So anybody got any subjects they want to bring up, let me know out there in the chat room. We'll see what we got going on. Trying to get my stuff organized here. I might have issues with my feed. If you guys can hear me fine, give me a 1 in the side chat if everything's 5x5. Give me a 0 if it's broken and readable or whatever. Something other than crystal clear. Looks like in the side chat we got M Long. We got Bug Out Buddha. How you doing? Good evening, Mr. Tommy Boy 9. How much rain you got, Tommy Boy? How's the hurricane coming down on you? Or is it avoiding you? Skylark Berto. That sounds like a interesting name. Welcome to the chat. Kenneth, the Kentucky fam. Good evening. How you doing? Nevada Tony. Tony, you got a link if you want to jump in. You're on triple crowning coke, Tommy Boy. You can hear everything 5x5 then. It doesn't matter what I'm saying. I hope you guys are doing some good recovery work out there. Hopefully everything's going fine. You're not getting too much flooding. It looks like the coast is just getting inundated big time. Lots of people I've checked in on the coast have definitely got their work cut out for them. Even in the mountains, it's a lot of power outages and stuff going around. So it was definitely a tropical storm if not a major hurricane. Doesn't sound like the wind damage was too terrible. Yeah, that's good, Tommy Boy, that you didn't get that much rain, though. You should hate to get like the rest of them. Right? I didn't even see. I don't think I looked at the internet more than 5 minutes this weekend. So I'm definitely behind on anything that you all may have seen out there. Looks like the Weather Channel still has just hurricane tropical storm stuff on it. Let's see. Hey, LS, good evening. How you doing? Liberty for all. Good evening. Trump's Kavanaugh being accused of sexual harassment back when they were in high school, right? That's fairly laughable. Yeah, I just laugh at that. I don't even look at it twice. So a couple links out there. So biggest thing I want to do the redraw for the subscription giveaway so we can get that taken care of. I talked to Jet. I forgot his address at the post office, so I got to get his stuff in the mail still. And Mule Team, I got your stuff. When I went to the post office I didn't have yours or Jet's address. Whoops. But I got to redraw for M Long's side. I'll redraw for that, and we'll close out the giveaway hopefully sooner rather than later. So this shouldn't be too long a chat. And we'll close it down and get some sleep tonight. Maybe finish up any issues in the morning chat. Give me some time to research and get my ducks in order if I'm behind. Yeah, David Gass, saw some gun channels are flooded out. Mr. Guns and Gear, totally flooded out. Really, he's totally flooded out. I don't know if I'm subscribed to Mr. Guns and Gear. I don't know if I know that channel. I did see that. I didn't see it on his channel, but I did see that the channel that was doing the live streams from Vast, North Carolina. Daggum, I never can remember that name right. What's his channel name? I haven't checked in with him since yesterday. I'm gonna have to look for it. Breakaway Homestead. I saw that Vast, North Carolina was under evacuation. That was like a main headline. I don't think he lives in town. But I haven't checked in with him since I saw that the town itself was under evacuation order because of the flooding that was coming their way. So I don't know if he's got any commentary on it or not. Breakaway. How do you spell break and away? Breakaway Homestead. Might check in on him. Such, I believe, is LS. I believe Such is in northern South Carolina. Or he might be in the mountains of North Carolina, but he's out in the west more so. So it looks like Breakaway Homestead has posted a couple quick ones today, real short. One of 21 minutes. That was the longest. So he might have some commentary in there about what's going on. But I did see that the evacuation order was up for his town in particular. So and he's pretty far inland, up to 100 miles. I don't know exactly, but it's fairly close there.
Oh, sure, it got quiet in here. Guess it kicked HD out by the time I came in. Well, I hope everybody's doing good on this Sunday evening. I was doing pretty good today till I busted my phone, cracked the face of it. First one I've ever broke like that, so that kind of a little let down today. Guess I feel guilty. I know I never did try to do a whole lot on Sunday. I may not be no soapbox preacher, but I try to do what I can and not do a whole lot on Sunday. And the day that I actually got rawhided to do something, I busted my face in my telephone. So, for what that's worth, still works. You just like looking through a spider web.
All right, I dropped. I knew I had a bad connection somewhere. You in here, Saints? I'll see if
Yeah,
I'm
I
still
jumped in there,
live.
tried to entertain everybody since you blacked out and left the crowd.
I have got a bad connection, or it says I do, at least. Don't know what the deal is.
I don't know. I missed it. I just have switched over and seen where you had a link out and jumped in. I didn't catch what your intro was.
I didn't really have one. um, I was just seeing what was going on, checking in. I haven't really paid attention to anything this weekend, so
Right.
I'm negligent in anything that's going on, really.
Well, I told everybody about my good luck today. I try not to do a whole lot on Sunday. I'm not no, you know, stand behind the pew preacher, but I try not to do a whole lot on Sunday. Just that little part. And the day that I got rawhided and had to do something today, I messed around, busted my telephone, man.
You busted your telephone?
Yeah, I cracked the screen on the front of it, so it still works, but it's like looking through a spider web now.
Oh, I thought you meant like the one that connects to the wall with the cord to it.
No, ain't many people got them anymore.
Right. Yeah, they're pretty rare. But how's the rain out your way?
We're getting them still the same thing. I mean, it was hot yesterday. Didn't get any rain yesterday, and today, about every 4 hours, the bottom falls out again. I mean, we were in the shop, had every door and everything in the building drug outside today, and it clouded up and turned just as red as it could be, and boom, boom, boom. Here come a band through, and then 30 minutes later, clear sky.
Yeah.
Yep, coming in bands. I guess coming off at the storm.
Yeah, all the mountain areas are still getting quite a bit of rain. There are lots of power outages and stuff from what I've seen. So it's definitely still having a lot of effects. I did see some of the stories about some of the flooding rescues and stuff going on. Places that have never flooded before. This place is hitting. People that were sheltered in place, thinking the storm would be just fine, but the flooding got to them. I think what was it? They said Wilmington's got the highest water level since that 50s hurricane. So not many people are experienced with that, and you figure with all the new construction and all the roads and everything, it's going to be a different experience.
Yeah, didn't Obama pass an executive order couple years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, taking over all the waterways and drainage and all that stuff, claiming domain over it?
The EPA's had it written into their bylaws or whatever for years.
Yeah, I
I don't
remember
think it was. Yeah.
they did something. Though Obama came out and did something to claim any body of water that so and so blah blah does this, that, and whatever. And it kind of chat me a little bit. We got a private lake down here, and it ain't theirs, you know. So
Your other phone works.
that's all the kiddies checking in.
It's who?
All my kids checking in.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Daddy, how you doing, Daddy? We all right.
That's good.
Every day above ground is a good day.
It's a little late out there. People will be calling, isn't it?
Well, that's text came in on the cell phone. I got it set up like so the kid when they call it sound like an old timey telephone.
Right. It's the only thing you respond to.
Yeah.
Well, I asked in the side chat if they can see us, but I haven't got a response. So I'm not sure if we're visible out there or not.
It says live. Let me look and see over here. I got it playing on there.
Oh,
Yeah. It's still going.
Okay, nobody's commenting now. I don't have any comments. Or need to refresh something here.
It's showing your logo, your desert shot there.
Yeah. Okay. Tommy Boy just responded. Yeah. Okay, I just thought we'd lost him there for a second. Yeah, I've just been slacking off all weekend, doing busy stuff, and haven't even been on the YouTube.
Well, I had a guy give me a big old storage rack like they've got at Lowe's or Home Depot, those big old steel industrial shelving units.
Oh, yeah?
He gave me one of them. I think it's 8 foot wide and 3.5 foot deep and about 12 foot tall. Got 3 or 4 shelves in it. All that Lego snapped together. Heavy duty, probably weighs 600-700 pounds. And, when somebody gives you something like this, you got to make a move on it because they're liable to ungive it or, hey, I'd already told him I'd give it to him, something like that. So you got to make a move on it. And so I got it, brought it down here, and the guy came down today, said, man, let's put that thing together. And I'm like, holy cow. And it's hot. Man, it's hot. Yesterday with a heat index at like 4 o'clock, it was 101.
Oh, yeah? Wow.
Yeah, it's terrible.
That is terrible.
They said that guy, Tonto Peranto, was teaching a gun class down in, what is it, Dothan, Alabama. They're a little bit further south than we are. They're probably another 100 miles south. And he said, dude, it is freaking hot down here. And them guys supposed to be tough. And he's like, oh, man, it's killing us. It's 100 degrees and 100% humidity. Welcome to the South, boys and girls.
Yeah, but it's September.
Mm-hmm.
That's brutal, man.
It is. I mean, I was soaking wet when I came in a while ago. I had to change everything all the way down to skivvies is dripping wet. I've done this. It kills you too, man. And it's like I remember. It's just like when they beat you up and run you, and then you have to go in a classroom while they give you a period instruction, and you're fighting it, dude, to try to keep your eyes open. It's like, oh right. My God. And that's the way now when I come in hot like that and sit down, man, that's it. I'm out.
You're out, right? Yeah. You get a chance to cool off. Your body's wants to just rest a little bit.
You're spent.
No, it's been nice over here, man. I mean, yeah, I don't think it's touched 80. It hasn't touched 80. I mean, it's just been bright, clear. It's been in the 70s though, so it's been really nice. I can't complain. I probably shouldn't complain. Iron Witch has joined us. Good evening. So up here in the top left corner of the Drudge, they got a lot of the stories about a lot of that After Effects Is it swooping up the up towards the northeast yet, or?
Last I heard, they said it turned north, so I don't know. That may have just been a quickie, but I
Yeah, there's
don't
all
know.
kinds of.
When the fake news guy got out there leaning into the wind and did his fake weather forecast, that ruined it for me. No more
I've
coverage.
I forgot about that. Okay, I did see that. I did see that the fake weather stuff was going on. But you know
Come
what that
on,
is they're just not willing to risk it because there are areas that are in bad shape, but they're not willing to risk it to go out there. That's what it
man.
is. Because I've got plenty of friends and family that I'm getting reports and pictures of, and it's like, oh yeah, we're isolated, we're flooded in, we can't get out. You know, they have no way in or out in
Wow,
certain areas and
really?
stuff, and like there's trees down and et cetera, et cetera. But these guys want to get a story, but they don't want to risk getting in the real water, which is really bad.
Well, they're like, this is a great job, but it's really not worth dying for. 100,000 years not worth dying for. So I believe I'll set this one out.
And you know what? We'd have no problem with them if they were just being honest and just be like, hey, it's really bad over here. We're over here where it's a little bit safer. You know, people wouldn't have a problem with it. I don't think.
Well, they said Anderson Cooper did it last time he went to a storm. Stood in a ditch full of water while his crew was filming him from the bank. You know, telling everybody how deep the water was.
Yeah, I think we've seen that. That's one of the memes going around. Is like his cameraman standing up on dry ground, looking down at him, standing in the ditch or whatever. Oh yeah, this map right here. It looks like it's updated to be right near Asheville here.
It did turn north, didn't it?
Yeah, it's supposed to. It was supposed to.
Still a lot of rain in that thing, though.
Yeah. So that's about as close as it's going to get to you.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, it should stay on the east side of the mountains from there on out, I would think. Head up to Pennsylvania or something. Erstwhile, good evening. How you doing? G Mango's with us. Cheers. Cheers. G, what's
Brother
up?
G. Brother G.
Yep. Did he run a chat last night? You know?
Oh, I don't even know.
Sometimes he gets on good topics. Sometimes he just goes off the rails. V Borg's out there. What's going on, V Borg? Oh, the fight was last night. G says, watch the fight, that boxing match. What was it? Seen it fly by on the Twitter. Canelo versus some dude. You watch boxing anymore?
That's a negative.
What's that?
Negative.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, been a while. I guess the last time I watched the boxing was in one of the private chats with G. I think Mario got some kind of a dealio going where I don't know how scrupulous it was, but it's a pretty good fight. I know it's funny. They kept knocking people that was bootlegging the signal. They kept knocking him off and jumping from one to the other. And kept having to jump channels to stay up with the fight. It's pretty interesting. It was more of a challenge. It was more of a challenge than it was entertaining. Channel jumping because they'd shut one channel down and they'd say, "Go to this channel," and everybody go over there and it'd be live again. So they were jumping from one to the other, bucking the system. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, G says that was UFC fight. I remember I watched the Mayweather Conor McGregor thing last year or whatever. That was some entertainment.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I think that's the last fight I watched. Man, I don't do TV. I'm abnormal. I don't I don't run a TV. I pretty much get everything off the internet.
Exactly, right?
I've got one, but it's you know, just something to catch dust.
The TV catches dust.
That's it.
Right. Erstwhile asks, is Readable Solution still on YouTube? Well, his channel's still there, but he hasn't uploaded a video in like a year. He's still around, but he's just not doing the YouTube thing. He actually checked in on our chat, what, 2 weeks ago? Was it, Saints? He came in the chat? Something like that?
He did, yeah, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still around and whatnot, but he gets invite to the chat pretty much every time we run one, but he doesn't drop in very often anymore. He's got bigger, better things to do, I guess you'd say. Better than all us slackers out here. So it looks like we got a good crowd in here. I'm going to go ahead and do the main focus of what I was going to do. I'm going to redraw for the other part of the giveaway that we had. And get that information out. Tommy Boy says he doesn't want to win, so I could just take him off now, I guess. But let me get that document pulled up. So go to random.org and we'll do this. I took everybody out that's already been drawn or paid forward their winnings. I'm pretty sure. Let me look through here real quick. I got 36 on the docket. I need to take Jet out because Jet got it paid forward from I'm losing my mind. Bill M. Rivers. Bill M. Rivers paid it forward to Jet 001. So that leaves us with 33. Tommy Boy, you're 33 now, so you got the lucky number, Tommy. 33, that's the Illuminati, right? You're gonna win. You're bound to win. You pull that number up. What was that, Saints?
Man, he lucky man tonight.
Yeah, the Tommy Boy, that might be your lucky number after all. Okay, so I got, let me double check. Just in time prepping, Van's World, Attenda Fabrizio, Halen Strain, Scott F, Crazy Scotsman, Bobby Solar Homestead, which he hasn't done a follow-up video that I've seen from the storm yet. Road Below, RG Homesteads, Native Tears, Smokin' Locust, Smolo, also known as Georgia Rebel, Winging It Tracy, Landron 89, Broseph Russell, Iron Witch 1811, who's in the side chat, Bikes and Bullets, Dash Out, Big Dog Leather, James Mack, Michael Gilchrist, HRM Weapons, Nevada Tony, 702, Wake Up Canuck Saints, you're still in, and Pam's Great Outdoors. All right, so we'll generate based on those 33 and move forward. So here we go. If you can't make that up, Saints.
No. Hey, something, it's rigged. It's rigged. The system's rigged.
It's the Illuminati, man. I'm telling you.
Jump and win.
Oh,
Hillary won.
All right,
Hillary won and Tommy won.
Tommy Boy, emails on the front page of my channel, thehdp13@gmail.com. If you want to email me an address, That's deja vu right there. I don't know what to say about that. That gives
Man,
me the heebie-jeebies
I
right
don't know
there.
about that. Where's my rabbit's foot and my holy water and shit?
We break out the prayer book real quick. So
No kidding. I need to sprinkle some of that stuff around. Some of it's not good.
maybe we should all just go to Vegas now. Call it good.
Wow. Congratulations to Tommy Boy there. He called it.
He he called his number, right? Oh, that's
Oh,
funny.
it's rigged. It's
Yeah,
rigged.
I wouldn't have to do if I hadn't done it right. I mean, right in front of it.
Boom.
Oh man, I don't know
Another
how.
one, that's another one of them algorithms they're talking about.
Yeah, you say it into the mic and they're monitoring you and stuff. Random.org has got a mic just like Google.
Hmm.
Maybe that sounds like a good conspiracy theory.
Wow.
All right. And that was funny too, because during the main giveaway, Tommy Boy was giving us so much crap because Mule got it after we changed the numbers.
Guess he got bumped.
Oh man, you can't.
He
There's
was
some.
screaming. He was screaming, I got robbed. I got robbed.
Oh
Mm-mm.
man.
Oh, good stuff, man. Good stuff.
So yeah, Tommy Boy, shoot me an email, and you can pay it forward too if you want to forward it to somebody else. That's fine. It's all good. Tommy Boy asked, "So what did he win?" Tommy Boy, don't you remember the giveaway video? Um, it's a series of things, just mostly like go bag type stuff, dry bag, knife, 550 cord, some other knickknacks.
And it's
Stuff
on.
that's always good to have. It's
It's
not no
all.
AR lower or nothing like some channels. I ain't quite that high roller.
It's all HD approved, Tommy Boy.
What was that?
I said it's all HD approved.
Just stuff I've accumulated over the time. And remember, Irish USMC Vet sponsored a lot of this stuff. He sent me a lot of the stuff to put in here, so it's not just me. There ain't no way I could afford to get all that stuff.
Heck yeah, shout out to him too.
The Irish USMC Vet was a big contributor, so appreciate him helping out with the giveaway. And I will get Jet001 and Mule. I'll get your stuff out hopefully tomorrow, since as long as I can remember the addresses. I got the stuff I'm putting in the boxes right now, so I can label them, so I don't have to worry about taking the address to the post office and putting it on there. I showed up at the post office without their address. That didn't do anybody any good. You know what I'm saying?
Tommy Boy won't know you cut the tags off.
Oh, right. Yeah, he doesn't want to feel guilty about anything with says made in China, so I'll make sure. Tommy Boy. We'll take care of anything that says as long as it's in symbols, it's okay though, right? Taiwan's not China. That doesn't count, right?
Yeah, they really don't. They really don't click well with China. So, well, they say the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah, we like to think that at least, right?
Yeah, so buy something from Taiwan.
Yeah. I think there's something going on with Google servers tonight, because my where it tells me about the stream is just going haywire. I think it's coming off their server. Maybe it's really busy on the East Coast still is why it's I don't usually start this early, so maybe that's what it is. Tommy Boy says he saves those tags. He has a jar of them. I'm not sure what the point of that would be, Tommy. Hey, Mark Herndon's joined us. Good evening, Mark. What's going on? Mark says Populous Swedes lost and looks like Cruz will too. House goes dim in November and Gramnesty switches parties. I was kind of hoping Gramnesty might be in South Carolina right now and get flooded out of himself, and maybe he can't make it back to Washington in his decrepit state. Populous Swedes lost. So I know they were talking about, was there elections yesterday, Mark, or something? And really, Cruz is going to lose in the primary? I'm behind the times on Texas politics, I guess. I know the third option posted on Twitter saying something about that. The GOP was going to lose in November and the White House in 2020. What do you think about that possibility, Saints?
All I know is if the Dems win the majority, it's going to be a mess. Schiff's going to take over the Intelligence Committee, and Pelosi will be Speaker of the House, I guess. And holy cow, man, I can't take it no more.
How can Pelosi possibly function?
I don't know, but that'll make Maxine Waters will be a committee head too.
Oh, yeah.
You know what it's going to be for the next 2 years? It's going to be impeach Trump, impeach Trump.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's already been the last 2 years, and I still have. Hey, you know me, I'm all about impeachment, but I got to see a just cause, a why, right? You can't just do it because you say it.
Wow. Yeah.
I have yet to see any criminal activity going down. Maybe that's just me.
30-round mags will go back up to $25 a piece. Walmart shelves will be empty again.
Just by saying that the house is going to flip in November, they probably went up today. You know?
22 bullets. Get them while you can. Holy cow.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. I haven't even. I mean, I stocked up on 22 back in like 2009, 2010. And I bought bits and pieces here and there for the last, during that shortage. Because around here, the shortage lasted a lot longer than it did back there. Like you guys were getting 22 500 white box in Walmarts.
Right.
I still haven't seen a Walmart carrying a 500 round box yet. They're still carrying the 333s and stuff.
I know years and years ago, which I still got a bunch, I bought a 6,000 round case of Russian 22 bullet steel case for $99. I think I still got 4,000 of them. And they're nasty, but man, they were dirt cheap.
Yeah.
I think they called them juniors or something like that.
The box of ammo?
Yeah. 22 juniors. Yeah, it was one of those sealed up wooden boxes. Had 6,000 rounds in it, and they were in those paper, folded paper cartons, and the bullets got like beeswax on them or something on the outside of them. They're like greasy.
Oh, yeah?
So, I don't know. Yeah, they're not real consistent, but yeah, a lot of the American-made ammo, 22 I bought wasn't consistent. You shoot it and it'll pop, and the next one will go poof, and then the next one will go pow. It's all different flavors coming out of there. You're not going to have any kind of super accuracy to that,
Yeah, kind of like when I just got started on reloading.
Man, I don't know. I was always careful on my reloading. I checked the guy that taught me, he's like they call it Safety Sally. Everything was be careful with this. You got to look at this. This will happen. That'll happen. And it's good that he did because he's real thorough. But yeah, there's.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of joking, but when you start reloading, you kind of get used to doing your
That,
thing.
I always had good luck with my reloads like that. They were, I don't know, I guess, they say hand loaded ammo is the best ammo if you watch what you're doing. The most accurate ammo.
Yeah, you can dial it in, really, especially if you want to learn what your gun likes.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's the biggest thing.
I haven't done it in a long time, but I like it.
Yeah, I need to get some stuff going. I haven't reloaded a round in quite all summer, really. Need to get back in there and get some action going.
I know I was interested to see what happened to Stinger because he was getting ready to pour mega bullets, but he's like moved his homestead now.
Yeah, it's interesting to see what catch up. We'll see what was going on with him.
Did you hear where Joe Biden got out and called everybody, called all of us? What was it? What was the word he used? All the Trump people had the dregs of society were in with the Trump people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dregs of society. That's the new one. Add that one to your list.
So racist isn't bad enough?
No, well, he actually is, included in the Trump people are the dregs of society. Thanks, Uncle Perv. Stop grabbing on them kids, Joe.
Just go buy a shotgun, right?
Yeah, right.
So I would just call him Shotgun Joe.
I know when they put that video of him drunk in that creek dancing, everybody was calling him Drunk Uncle Joe. But,
yeah, that's a guy. Another guy can't disappear fast enough. Like Truth Freezes joined us in the side chat. What's going on? She says, impeach threat is just to cause chaos stirred up in civil divide. Oh, no doubt. It's to maintain that civil. There's no doubt about that part. And if they actually drop the impeachment, if they gain control, now that'd be fairly shocking, I think. And the question is, would the far left loonies call them out if they didn't raise impeachment articles? But the thing is, what are they going to impeach him on? What are they going to charge him with? Saints. I mean, what's the charge?
The only thing that they said was the Comey deal. Why did he fire Comey? Obstruction of justice. But you're not going to hear that too much longer because Joe DeGeneva said they've got Comey tied in, that they're probably going to drag him in front of the grand jury. I don't know.
Drag who in front of a grand jury?
Comey.
Oh, Comey. Oh, yeah. I thought you were saying Tony for a second. I was like, what?
No.
Tony.
Lord, let's hope not.
Oh, if Tony got in front of a grand jury or in front of Congress, can you imagine the sideshow that would be?
Holy cow.
I wonder if can you get contempt of Congress for swearing them, up down one side the other?
I don't know. As long as he held his ground up there and spoke his salt, I feel like he'd make a good impression on them because he speaks from the heart.
I can just imagine Tony clicking off safe on Congress and just everybody's looking at him like, what? Jaws dropping. Be like, you've got to leave, sir.
Well, he might not get everything, names and dates right, but he get his point across. Huh. If they don't kick him out for dropping the F-bomb, that'd be tough.
I'd almost pay pay-per-view to watch that. That'd be better than any fight.
Oh man, heck yeah! I'd probably something like that. I'd probably go beat. I'd try to get a front row ticket. I know it'd probably be expensive, but I'd like to try to get a ticket.
Right. Daryl Hooper's with it as well, or Daryl Hopper's with us as well. Good evening. Truth Free says sub to Rolling Homestead. He's doing a lot of prepping stuff, it looks like. Homestead channel, obviously. Rolling Homestead. Yeah, we'll check that out.
I do what I can do, Homestead. And I know one thing. I got out one of those. I bought a couple of crosscut, regular crosscut saws at a state sale. And I got one of those out, going to cut with it. Probably been a couple of weeks ago. Boy, I'm going to tell you what, that thing will make a man out of you.
Oh, yeah?
Them people cut with them old crosscut saws, you know what I'm talking about? I got a 2-man and a 1-man.
Oh, so you're talking about one of those long ones like...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a 2-man and a 1-man. My 2-man's got to have a handle put in one end, which I got a no table leg to make a handle out of. I'm going to fix it. And Linda, little old girl, my girl buddy, she's got a setter. And I didn't know what it was. She said, "What is this?" I said, "I'm not sure. I've never seen one, but it's some kind of a precision deal because it's got a real fine thread hardened screws on it. And it's a setter for offsetting those crosscut saw blades. So when you sharpen them, you go back and put that on there and tighten it up, and it bends that thing just enough to make it catch a chip when you drag it back there. So after you sharpen it, you got to reset it. And boy, that of mine needs it bad because I tried to saw with it the other day, about 5 minutes, and I said, I'm going to crank the chainsaw. This is ridiculous. Dude.
Good to get your workout in, right?
Man, you talking about something make a man out of you. Holy cow. I couldn't imagine doing that all day. Cutting firewood like that.
Cutting trees like that?
Oh, my gosh.
Those were men, right?
Yes, sir.
Rolling Homestead. I guess I'm not subbed to him. I know that I'm subbed to a channel that's in Wisconsin, but I can't think of who it is. But yeah, I guess Rolling Homestead doesn't show up in my channel, so I can't think of who it is that's in Wisconsin that I follow. So I'll have to keep that in mind. See if Truth is giving us some good scoop. We ain't got some hay today, Saints. That's a good workout for you.
Oh, heck yeah. That dude out there in the external, Mr. Hopper, he knows what he call it, a raker gauge. I guess y'all set the rake in that thing on sharpening them old saws. Power goes off, you might be digging one of them out trying to use it. When your generator quits, you can't use your skill saw.
Raker gauge, what's that?
Raker gauge to set the offset on those teeth on a rip saw, old crosscut saw.
So you use it when you sharpen it to like change the angle or whatever?
Yeah, you push the teeth back out, where it'll bite as it comes back or goes forward,
Oh, you can do that with just a tool?
It's like a little vise. It's like a little bender, and you clamp that thing over that tooth in there, and it sets down in the gullet between them teeth, and you tighten it down or you push it on there and lock it, and it bends that tooth over to a given amount, so all of them will be the same. That's old frontier stuff there, old pioneer stuff, resharpening old crosscut saws. But if you got to get dull, ain't no good. You need them where they'll cut good.
Right. Is it harder than setting the headspace and timing on a 50 cal, or is it?
No, Lord, no.
It's not that hard? Okay.
No.
Okay, if it's not that hard, I can figure it out then, I guess. Headspace and timing is always a challenge.
Yeah, that headspace ain't that bad, but when you have to raise them spade grips up and get in there and dig with that timing deal,
yeah,
that gets a little dicey right there. You may
all the way down, all the way up.
It'd been a long time since I've done that. I know the little old gauge that goes in there to that you close the try to go into battery with. But man, I'd raise them spade grips and turn in that 10, whatever that thing is back there, boy, you can get whacked up on that one. Or I did. I get balled up on it, you know.
Yeah,
I
probably.
Go ahead.
I was saying I probably wouldn't be able to figure it out now. It's been so long, but I'd stumble my way through it for about 3 hours before I figured it out. Yeah, Daryl says if you got them gapped right, the sharp ones at the correct angles, you'll throw chips the size of Lay's. I'm guessing that's Lay's potato chips.
Yeah, they're taking all them old saws now and they'll paint scenes on them and hang them on the wall, you know, make artwork out of it.
Yeah, can you imagine when the SHTF happens, all the tools are just hanging up in like Cracker Barrel and stuff?
Yeah.
Just go to Cracker Barrel and pick up all your needed supplies. I mean, they usually got snowshoes and a couple of scythes and all kinds of tools laying around that people just looked at for all these years.
Yes, sir. A potato rake and a hay fork and you'll need all that stuff.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, how many square bales you bring in today?
Oh, we just got 20-some bales, 25.
What do they charge for a square bale now? $5?
It just depends on the what? No, this is for alfalfa. This isn't $5.
Seemed like the last hay I bought was $3.75 a bale.
Holy cow!
How much is it now?
Alfalfa, depending on where you get. If you get alfalfa straight off a farm, depending on the cut, because each cut of the year is a little bit different because of the quality. So it can go from 15 down to 7 or so.
Oh,
yeah,
wow! You're kidding me.
Alfalfa can be pretty expensive. But yeah,
the last hay I bought was Primo hay. That was, like you said, it was cut at the right time, where it had the seed on it. You know, and they want to cut it when it's got the seed on it. That way that the cows get that protein or whatever. Or they cut it right when it's got its most power.
Yeah,
the most food values.
That most protein content's the biggest thing with alfalfa, at least.
Yeah, and I think it's $3.75 a bale. Now I thought that was a little high, but I guess I'm running behind the times.
That had to be more than 10 years ago, didn't it?
It probably has been. I'll tell you what, I'd like to have a square baler. I really would. Run off PTO, but you can't just buy a square baler. You got to have a rake and
all right.
I can't remember all the names, all that different stuff. Lays it out. You got to have a sickle mower to cut it. And then you got to go through and rake it and get in rows where you can get it in the baler. Wow.
Yeah, hay's big business. I mean, they're shipping hay to China and Saudi Arabia and everywhere else out of a lot of these places.
I got out and rode across country the other day, had to go over to the guy's house. I did notice one thing. This year, we've had so much rain and so much growth. Every freaking barn around here is stacked the ceiling with round bales. And they doing them round bales now where they're wrapping them in that stretch wrap. And they last a long time like it. They won't mold or nothing. Helps keeps it dry. But I seen a deal the other day, probably about 10 miles from here. I bet he had 500 round bales in that, stacked in that big old long. You can't put no more in there. It's all you could get. It was packed slap full. That's a good thing.
You got a stretch wrap around? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I never heard of that.
Look like a big old white garbage bag. They stretch over them and it's tied on there, it's snapped down around it.
Huh. Yeah, I don't think they use that method out here or something. I don't think I've seen that. It looks like Mule Team's joined us. What's up, Mule? You got a link if you want to jump in.
Heck yeah.
Mule says has had a great weekend. Daryl Hooper. I don't know if I'm saying Hooper or Hopper. What's double P? Hopper? I'm still going to say, I guess I'll say Hopper. Have you ever thought of pasture stocking with perennial mix? Then you save the labor. You'd have to raise a pasture, though, and it's kind of hard to do out here. You'd have to have the water to do it. It would be my most difficult thing. People that do raise the alfalfa have the water rights. So,
well, these little small farmers around here that's got 3 or 4 head of cattle, 5 head of cattle, they'll split their pasture in half, and they'll keep flip flopping their cows, back and forth in the different pastures, different halves of the pasture. And right before wintertime gets here, they'll leave that cow in one leaving cows in one pasture and let that other grow, and they'll cut it and bale it to feed with during the,
Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
Yeah, and then let the cows go on it right before it gets cold. Let them just go in and clean it up. They'll get what's left.
Hey, Mule, I do have sheep. Have you not been watching the channel? What videos you been watching, Mule? We do have sheep. I think Mule's been sleepwalking through my videos.
Wow, 17 people dead now. Holy cow. Last I heard it was 11.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't seen the updated death toll.
Holy cow.
Yeah, there's like trees falling into houses, people having heart attacks, can't get, assistance. Like they're counting a little bit of everything, not just, not just actual drownings or anything.
Right.
Carbon monoxide poisoning. Somebody didn't have a good vent on their generator, I guess, or I don't know if they needed heat or not, but risk for landslides in western North Carolina. I haven't heard that yet. Two to 5 inches of rain in portions of the Carolina, mid-Atlantic, and southern New England. As much as it's rained this summer, too, like everybody's getting just overwhelmed with rain. You still with me, Saints, or you take off? Saints taking a break.
No, I'm here.
Hey, I'm Long. Have a good night. We'll see you later.
All these lakes around here, everything's full. All our lakes are full, and my neighbor's lake's full, and river looks good. Everything's nice and green.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think anybody's been suffering from drought east of Mississippi this year.
No.
I think there was some stories about maybe some potential dam issues too out that way for this storm. That would be a bigger impact, but
yes, sir. I don't know about that. I ain't heard about that.
I don't see nothing on the immediate top, at least. Maybe it was dams and day. There's where I saw it. Wilmington's cut off. Wilmington's a pretty good sized town too. It's like 150,000 or something. Maybe not that big, but it's too big a city for me. See, here's Saints, so people can't get their story straight. This was less than an hour ago, and it says 12 death toll of 12. Well, that's in North Carolina. Maybe the other 5 are in South Carolina. Maybe that's what it is. State officials asked for out-of-state motorists to go around North Carolina and avoid I-95.
Wow.
Having to drive 400 miles out of your way. Up to 18 on this right here. It says Florence kills at least 18. That number just keeps going every time we click on something new. Here's the dams and levees. Okay, let's pull this up here. Let's see what he's saying. Creston's in Tennessee.
Fair use on this.
Saints always keeping me out of trouble.
Well, that people's got so picky, you might need to holler fair use every now and then.
Killed at least 18 people. And the thing is, there's so much rain that's been falling that now we're starting to see some of these dams and levees getting close to breaching in the Carolinas. You've got several of them that there have been bulletins put out on. They've even done some evacuations. The Headwaters Dam near Creston, that's way in northwestern North Carolina. You've got Lake Corrier, one of the levees there is getting a little bit weak. Chiraw down in South Carolina, and then Lumberton in North Carolina, a couple of lakes where the dams and levees are getting a little bit weak. Now, earlier on in the day, we had a flash flood emergency in Charlotte. And again, this was earlier on Sunday. That has gotten downgraded to a flash flood warning. But man, floodwaters just making it so far all over the place. A big variety of places that are dealing with big problems. And Wilmington, North Carolina is one of the most crazy stories. I mean, they're basically an island right now because all the roads leading into the city completely impassable. So the only way in is by air. And that's how they're getting food and water to about 120,000 people there who can't even get out.
There you have that. Rough time to be in the Coast Guard and the National Guard, probably.
Yeah, weatherman, he's not going to go out there for $100,000, and that little National Guard guy's going to go out there for $163.
You think that's his? He probably gets paid a little bit more than that. You think the guy goes out in the field?
Well, like yeah, whatever. I don't have a clue nowadays what they.
Holy cow! You see this picture of a train derailment?
Yes, sir.
In Lillisville. May have been caused after flooding washed out the tracks. You think they'd have been monitoring that? I thought everything was. Yeah. Thought everything was high speed enough nowadays to avoid. Oh man, that looks. Whew. Lillisville. I don't know where that's at. Near Highway 74. So that's down in the flatlands for sure. That's not good. There's probably some deaths in there that haven't been counted yet.
Yeah, that'd take a while to get that. That'd take a while to get that straightened out too.
That was at 5:46 p.m. today. Yeah, they might. Yeah. Well, it's a cargo train, so I guess it probably only had an engineer on it and whatnot. Not a whole lot of people.
They'll have to roll in big cranes in there, get everything stood up, and get it put back on the track. You know.
Looks like they're putting the MRAPs to good use here in Fayetteville. Got their Bearcat rolling through. Looks like there was a tornado near there. Morehead City gas station. There's a couple of pictures like this of different gas station pump areas getting taken down. Yeah, you can probably find tons of pictures and stuff on. Oh, here's a good image before and after down on the beach. Check that out. So before and after down below. That's beachfront property now. I mean, look at that. See how far set back it is? After the storm surge come through, the house on stilts is in the ocean practically. That took a lot of beachfront right there.
Yep, they'll have to pump a bunch of sand back in there to bring that back if they even can.
Yeah, Kill Devil's Hill. It's up on the Outer Banks. Man, that's no joke right there. That's more than 100 feet. And you got to figure it's all the way up and down. Man.
Hey, have you ever watched Mr. Guns and Gear?
Hey, what's up, Neil? Somebody was mentioning that in the side chat. No, I don't. I'm not sub to him. We were talking about at the very beginning of the chat that he had been evacuated or whatnot. He was in the flood areas.
No, he wasn't evacuated yet. He put out a alert. He put out, an update of what's going on in his house, and it's not up to his house. It's about, he said something like 7-8 feet away. But the deck that he usually does a lot of his review videos on and stuff, or his summaries of them, that thing's flooded. So,
yeah, people were talking about him in the side chat. I'm not sub to him though.
Yeah. Oh, he's got an interesting channel, but yeah, you're not that into guns. You're into other things other than guns. You already know you got your setup. You don't need to constantly talk about it and get into circle jerks about firearms. So.
Yeah, I've had enough talk about 9mm versus 45. I'm good.
yeah, exactly. 7.62 over 5.56 over 51 over blah blah blah. You know what? Get what you get. Train with it. Stop spending all your money on multiple versions if you can only carry one or two, right? And get good with those. Spend all that money you're spending on other guns. Go spend it on training, getting your preps up, getting shit together, right? That's my philosophy for so long that I'm still interested in guns, but I don't have to spend so much on them. So I spend more on ammo than most people spend on guns in a year anyway. So
oh man, so here's a whole gallery of pictures in this link here.
You want to hear one worse than that, Mule?
What?
Take a $600 rifle and put $2,500 worth of accessories on it.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, you know what? Really, I mean, look, my first Wasser, right? I've always made sure that I understood that I bought this rifle for $350. Guess what? I'm not doing. I don't even give a shit if it turns into a 10 grand rifle. It's just useless. I can see out to 300 yards. That's what I shoot out to. I don't need glass. I'm good. Anyway.
What you need, and then training is more important than anything. Like you said, there was a good meme out there. It's like most people don't need a $1,600 gun. They need a $600 gun and $1,000 of training.
Yeah, and really, 100%. And if I would love to be able to put $1,000 into getting like some serious corrective training on some of the way I stand or whatever. If I gave that much of a shit, I really would probably save up and do it. But I don't, because I hit what I aim at, and most of any time of kind of aggression that I've seen, it's always, I don't know, most people ain't willing to, if you're not fully trained, you're not willing to shoot at people. You're willing to shoot around people, So that's why it takes 10,000 rounds to be able to kill your average soldier,
Shoot around people? I don't understand what you're saying. They talk the mental block for most people?
Yeah, it really is. There's psychology studies that have shown that there really is a mental block of human shooting human.
Yeah.
And they've been able to do it since World War I, right? And they did the study again in World War II, Korea, Vietnam,
exactly.
And do it today. And the same thing keeps happening, right? Is most men won't actually aim up on somebody else and go for it, right? Send it, whatever the fuck euphemism you want to pull for actually killing somebody. It's hard to do without getting that trained into you well enough to where you can accomplish that.
Yeah, they found significant improvements on that when you started using one. They started using silhouettes, and then you up the ante to that, and you actually put human features on it. And then the more modern stuff where you actually have faces and full body to detail, you get the amount of percentage of shooting. I mean, look at police shootings now. Police have no problem shooting people.
Yeah, well, because you get desensitized to it, right? Same with the, the whole VR experience. We can call it gaming for now, but it really has always been a virtual reality. And it started out, the only reason why all this money went into these kind of things came from the military, right? Nobody wants to admit it, but that shit's all fucking DARPA shit, right? Before it became game hanging out in your living room, and now every kid's being trained to be a soldier if they ever really need it, and desensitized to a lot of shit. That's why they're able to walk into their classrooms and shoot the shit out of everybody. Why? Because they're desensitized through media and gaming and just, shitty parents who don't give a fuck about them,
Right.
And that's usually the way, those mass shooters end up, right?
Yeah, the book On Combat with Colonel Grossman is really good. He goes into detail about some of that. You talk about World War I studies and the number of shots per person injured and etc. He goes through some of that in is studies that have been done in the past and how it's changed and that whole mentality. It's a very good book on all that stuff.
That's where I got the information from, because I read that, and so that's probably where I'm totally stealing it in my brain from. You know what I mean?
Well, I know you didn't do the study, so I figured you got it somewhere.
No, no, yeah, exactly. I'm still
in Chicago. You could probably go to Chicago to do a similar study and figure it out.
Well, it's not hard to figure out. It actually takes a lot of balls to actually draw on somebody and shoot them. And most people don't have that in them. They don't understand how much of a cockroach is the human race is.
If for 520s out there, what's up, 520?
Good night.
He says people don't want to kill other people when they're doing it for their government. Well, when they are protecting their family or loved ones, I don't see many people having that problem. Actually, 520 people have that problem extensively still. Unless
let's talk Rwanda. Let's talk, any of the shithole of Africa, right? Look what's happening in, stinking South Africa now, right? Let's talk about what's going on in that went on for a long time all over South America. Look, plenty of the Jews. I mean, I'm not a Holocaust denier. I believe they went to the gas chamber knowing that bad shit was coming. Right? But they trusted in other people's humanity. And you know what? Go to the Balkan states, go to Serbia, Croatia, fucking Herzegovina, and ask them about other people's humanity. Go right now to, anywhere in the Middle East, ask about other people's humanity. They don't have any. There's no such thing as humanity. Humanity is a real social construct, right? There's plenty of people that will lay down like sheep to the slaughter.
Yeah. There's people that know they can't harm somebody in that way.
Yeah, and Amish, Quaker, whatever the hell you want to call it here in America, there's plenty of people who are total 100% nonviolent, but they'll spit in your face and get you to hit them because they'll cross a line and then they'll claim they're nonviolent and claim victim status. Because some people would rather be the victim going into the cannibal's pot, and be able to stand there morally in their whatever misguided morality and scream that they had the higher moral calling to let them boil them to death and eat them.
And I don't really have a problem with that. I understand that people would rather not risk any stain on their spiritual being, if you will. I get that.
It's a thought. It's a philosophy. Do I understand it? Yes. Do I agree with it? No. I'm not of that background, genetic philosophy, whatever the hell you want to call it, or even just through my own enlightenment. Can I take that stand? There's lines in the sand that you cannot cross, and my name isn't Obama. So if you cross them motherfuckers, there's going to be hell to pay. For the short amount of time that I can provide that, I'm 52 now. I was good once, but I'll give you 5 minutes now.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is. I'm living life. I had a great weekend with the original question of hope everybody had a good weekend. I did. And as for your sheep thing, I meant get some of these sheep that are wanting to work an organic farm and come work them for free. Tell them I'll give you free eggs. You know, because all them California people are heading your way, man. They're flooding northern Nevada. It's ridiculous, dude. If you pay
It's
attention,
slowed down a little bit. It's winter's always a lull.
yeah, but it's only a lull. It's not an end to the. It's not an end to the blue wave that's coming your way, right? And that votes and that wants to change how you do things. You know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, and I hope I'm wrong. I really do, but you know, it is what it is. You know, it's hard. It's hard to keep out the California invading when the people who put California into the positions that it's in, and they've turned it into such a shithole that they don't want to live there no more. And you know, Nevada is a pretty nice state right across the way. They can still drive to the beach if they want to, you know, and that's what those kind of people think about. Oh, I can still visit. I don't have to live here anymore. Pay these crazy taxes, you know, kicking these dope fiends out of my doorway. I can go someplace.
Cash out their property and move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I haven't seen. I don't know.
Well, I mean, hopefully you've pulled out enough to where it hasn't hit you yet. But it's funny because I was out today with the grandkids and with the grandchild, and we're out taking him around, having a good day. He helped work on the truck a little, not really, but he's hanging out by the truck while we were working on it. And I'm out at this place called Skydive Chicago, and I remember when that was a cornfield, you know. So shit happens, you know. Progress happens. Cities get bigger. People that live in the inner city start hating it after a while and want to live close to it, but don't want to actually live in it, right? Well, now that fucking state of California has turned into a whole inner city where people don't mind living in Oregon and Nevada, right, and Arizona, so they can always go back to California. And in doing so, they've changed Oregon, Nevada, and Arizona. You know? Man, yeah. I do not envy these people dealing with this right now, but you know what? It happens, and it's you know, we know it's all Trump's hot air causing this thing happening. You know,
yeah, I haven't seen an update on how he caused it yet, but yeah, that was funny.
I've seen a few people trying to act like he has, you know, that it's 100% his fault, and it's funny. Yeah. So that means, you know, his Twitter storm, you know, the bullshit that he spins in Twitter, you know, ended up in the North Atlantic, you know, and fucking is going nuts. It's just whatever. It's funny. You know,
I caught part of it. I don't know whether I caught the main part of what he was talking about or whether I missed it. But that Lucky Something channel where he does all the coverage on the right, so he said California had some kind of another state bill they were going to pass that one of the provisions in it was you could voluntarily give up your gun rights. All you had to do is go down and sign something, and you gave up your gun rights, and that made you a better person or something. And I'm like, what?
Hold on a second now. I 100% agree. I do not want the people that would sign that fucking paper ever owning a gun again. Okay?
I mean, I'm not arguing with it. I just thought the stupidity of it. Surely somebody has told this guy something wrong, or he read that wrong.
No. I think it's fucking brilliant, right? I really do. I think rather than encroach on people's Second Amendment rights that want them, if other people want to give them up, so then thereby every time they go through a background check or whatever, they're going to be denied automatically so they cannot have a firearm. I think a lot of these fucking Democrat shooters would be perfect examples of it because they would be talked into that pretty easily by some whatever they're interested in, right? That whether it be a female or male or pan or whatever, right? I don't give a fuck, you know, a furry. And, you know, they're going to be talked into doing that, right? Because these are social justice warriors that do these things, you know? So they'd sign them and they wouldn't be able to go buy one.
Yeah, that was one of the little tidbits that was in the bill. And another one was some kind of hospital visit, doctor recommendation, blah blah.
Yeah,
If
see,
you've
fuck
never
all
done
that.
this or done that.
Willingly give it up, right? If they want to willingly give up their gun rights, I say 100%, let them do it.
It's
And
just
make sure, I don't like databases at all, right? But I don't know. I might end up liking them. Might end up liking that one.
I don't understand. Why can't you just not exercise a right? Isn't that just giving up your right by not exercising it? I mean, doesn't even make any sense.
But
That's
you
not extreme enough. Surely that's not extreme.
not only that, you can't, like Tooth Freeze said, you can't get the the gold star, the pat on the back.
Oh,
You
yeah.
kudos for saying, look, I signed over my rights. And if you don't believe me, you think I'm lying, you go look on government database for all citizens, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Right?
Uncle Sugar's got to give you your gold star. I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Pat on the back, oh, you're such a good citizen. We know that you'll walk directly into the cattle car when we want to put you in a concentration camp someday. We know we'll have no fucking problems from you. We're going to give you a gold star. We're going to call you a good person.
I may have misunderstood him, but that seemed to me like what he was. I mean, the final line was basically what they were. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I misunderstood that, but that sure sounded like what he's saying to me.
Oh, but okay, let's talk about who he's talking to. California. You don't think that they would get that would get inundated? They would get inundated with people who register and get away with to do away with, not everybody, right? They would get inundated with white people.
White people.
No,
rich white people. Rich white people.
You will not get anybody else giving up that right. Illegals, legal, fucking any color under the sun. Liberal fucking white people will give them up so quick. You would see, and you would see spikes in certain areas. Berkeley, Marin County,
County.
Yeah. You wouldn't, but it's funny, you wouldn't see in other parts of the state, like parts of Orange County, and most of Northern California, you wouldn't even see a blip. Ain't nobody doing that shit. Right? Yeah. But around LA, around San Francisco, around parts of San Diego, not where all the vets go, right? And that's the thing. People don't realize how.
Yeah, the rich area, La Jolla down there is probably the.
Yeah, and how many vets settle in, especially career veterans, Navy, Army, Marine Corps, all end up settling in Southern California, but Southern California. I don't know, man. You go out that desert, I bet you'll find a lot of sonotubes and shit filled with a ton of stuff. So,
yeah. Oh, there's tons of guys down there. I don't know how they afford it, but they do.
Palms, and you probably fucking know where some of it is. So
it's classified.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll start keeping my mouth shut now. But I know a lot of people out in Cali, and used to back in the day before they even started this crap. And the day that they started putting that in, that was the first thing they did. That first assault weapons ban. They were like, oh, fuck, we're burying shit. Some of it's probably still out there, doing just fine in that caliche.
But what good does it do to have stuff buried once it goes back to that old discussion? It's time to bury them. It's time to use them, right?
Well, I know that's not always true, right? That's not always true. But, because we're not really using them yet now, right? So it's not time to dig them up yet. So if it's not time to dig them up yet, it is time to bury them, right? Because you never know when it's going to be time to dig them up. We're not shooting each other yet. It was close way back in, the Bundy days when, the federal government finally took a look at it and said, wait a minute, they really are kind of right here. So we need to back down and try and defuse the situation, And it turned out they were kind of right there. That's why they won, right?
Might not hurt to put some in if you planned on having a stay behind operation.
Man, look, there's a lot of people that really ain't going to give up on California. That they're born and bred there. That's their home. They don't give a shit what laws people put in place. You know, oh, you want me to look at a gun that's, yeah, this one looks, look, the one you know I have looks like this, right? Exactly the way you want it. The ones you don't know I have don't look anything like this, and they're not on my property that you can see.
I bet there's a bunch. I bet there's a bunch of them out there like that. You know they are.
I can guarantee that, Saints. Guarantee. I know people out there like that. So, and still talk to him, trying to get him to bail, trying to get him to fucking leave. Come east of the Mississippi. Why? Well, because actually the feds own most of the west of Mississippi. You know. So if you come east of the Mississippi, at least you'll be dealing with another human being for the most part, or at least in a large part. You know, then you will west of the Mississippi, where that human being is really just a stooge for the fucking government.
I don't know if I did a video about it or if I said it in a video. I remember talking about it after Hammond Ranch and they went to prison and everything. I either discussed it or I talked about it in a video. I can't remember which. But I was telling people back in the South.
We talked about that after that. Remember, HD?
What?
We talked about a lot after that, HD.
Yeah. So what I was talking about is my point was at the time, I was telling people from the South primarily because I consider the Northeast a lost cause, but people back in the South and in east of Denver, kind of, that they're the ones we're going to have to rely on to really. There's not enough people in the West to push back against the large scale federal government. It's just there's not enough people. We're too far spread out, too dispersed, too few. If there's ever, it's going to have to be the South, essentially, to cause the big pushback because they have enough of the larger populations to organize like that and stuff. And I think I brought up that talking about the guys from Georgia that came out to Bundy Ranch, like the prime example. Like that's what's going to take because there's just not enough people compared to what the forces that can be brought down against you.
Well, and that's where, Illinois, even though it's such a blue state, it's only blue in certain parts, right? Much less than, say, California, right? Where California has a much higher population truly that's blue in an area, right?
The red part of California is very sparsely populated.
Yeah, where it's more concentrated. Well, most of rural Illinois is kind of sparsely populated. You know what I mean? It's still kind of rural. When you guys are talking about hay and alfalfa, I'm here nodding my fucking head because believe me, I've done square bale and I've done round bale and I've hauled it all over the country, and it's worth a lot more than what Saints remembered. Closer to what you remember, HD. You're actually right on the button, pretty much. So, and hay prices, believe me, a lot of hay gets out here. A lot of hay gets grown. And I'm damn sure there's some of it going to be heading to the Carolinas here any day now, if not already on the way.
Well, I ain't bought no hay in a long time, but if I went to buy a bale of hay and he said $15, man, I'd probably price out.
Well, you'd be amazed. And it was funny, they were talking about it in the chat for a minute, right? On how you see everybody, Halloween, everybody buys straw, right? But they buy it at hay prices. It's hilarious.
Oh, right.
Well, there was somebody here selling round bales for $25 a piece. But it was
old ones. They might have been old ones, or they just, it's second, third cut, because the first
they called it horse hay. Said you feed the horses, but you didn't want to feed these cows or something like that.
Yeah, that's where it's third cut probably. You know what I'm saying? When it's down that low, it's third cut. On its second, third season, for all and that's where around here first cut's the big money cut, right? That's when everything is the healthiest, is the most money, most nutrition for your value of product, I guess. I don't know how they fucking deal with it. I'm not a farmer. I've just hauled for them and fucking hauled hay, helping friends out when they were doing their fields, and they come over and say, hey, beer and, whatever, nice dinner, and you come help out and, whatever. Yeah. Believe me, that's fucking hot work baling square bale, even with mechanical shit. I watched some South Africans. They still do it because they can't. Fuel is such a commodity and such a value there, right? That they still do hand square bales. And I watched them doing it, and it was fucking, that's work.
That's the only thing about square bales, dude. Somebody's got to go out there. You got to go out there where the bales are and pick them up. That round bale, you can get it with a hay spear and load it with a tractor, but dude, them square bales got to be just about be hand loaded, every one of them.
Well, you know, at least the way I did it was off, you know, a baler, right? So it would scoop up what was already cut and throw it in a baler, and it would already be tied coming off the machine, and you just toss it in the truck. I'm sure nowadays they have it to where it's one person, if any, on some of the commercial jobs where it's just just 100% machine. But it was way cooler watching them do it by hand and the way they still do it in South Africa.
Now, imagine having this duty right here going car to car looking for people stuck in their cars. I wouldn't want that'd be
no. You know, huh? Where's the Cajun Navy, man? These guys get fucked. Oh, well,
they went out there. There's just not enough of them to go around. I would imagine they can't go everywhere.
No, and I agree, but I'm saying, so why haven't these guys commandeered a boat, or why isn't there one? I mean, they live fucking Carolinas, man. It's not like it's the first time this shit's happened.
They showed one guy paddling around in a kayak a minute ago, but
yeah, whatever, whatever. Go to the Walmart and get a bunch of kayaks. Go to the Farm and Fleet, whatever. Get a bunch of kayaks. Shit, they're letting them loot fucking Family Dollars and shit. And it's not the cops letting them loot. It's the management of Family Dollar Corporation letting them loot. So the cops were told to stand down because the management of the corporation said they could have the stuff. They're writing that looting off like it's a donation to the fucking town, which is brilliant.
Brilliant.
It is. Think about it, right? So Family Dollar, nobody's getting arrested coming out of Family Dollar with anything they fucking loot, right? So there's going to be no bad feelings. They're not going to burn the Family Dollar down if they riot next year, right? They'll just loot it again. They're not going to burn it down because they're like, hey, they didn't have us arrested. They said we could have the shit. Why are we going to destroy this again? We'll just take the stuff again. They'll be good.
Yeah.
You don't have a protection racket and kill the fucking people you want to, coerce and fucking extort. No, you want them on the line until they grab their last breath. And once a corporation shows they're willing to do that, don't think people ain't going to take advantage of it. And want to keep them around. Uh-oh, what did Merkel do here lately?
What's that?
Somebody said Merkel is Hitler, man. Oh, Mark said
side
it.
Chat.
Yeah, on the side chat. I just glanced at it.
Yeah,
Merkel. Yeah, in a way. It's funny how kids.
Yeah, that's a sad state of affairs over there.
Yeah. See, why these guys ain't searching boats like that? I mean, it's actually kind of dangerous walking through that shit if you don't have to, right? And they should fucking know that. Every street turns into a fucking river in a flood situation, and you don't know what kind of debris is going to be coming through on your feet. First of all, you can't see shit in that. Anyway,
probably primarily using it for evacuees, I'd bet. People that aren't capable of wading through the water and whatnot.
Yeah, I know. And that's, look, I mean, and when you think of all the chemicals that are released in flood situations, it gets, if you ever clean one up, you know how fucking nasty that shit is.
Yeah, it doesn't take much, right?
No. And I seen some shots from this that where a couple of pig farms are flooded. And you're seeing pigs all over the place, and that's not gonna. When you think about their fucking excrement tanks and all the shit that they deal with, literally, and now it's all in the water that's flowing through everywhere. contaminating it. Jesus, man.
Yep, I got some pigs for sale now. Prices just went up.
Yeah, pork prices are definitely going to go up if those were high production commercial farms.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not I'm sure that no matter how big they are, and I know they're pretty big out there, right? A lot of those farms, a lot of shit out there.
North Carolina's the biggest pork producing state we got.
Yeah. So you'd be amazed, you know. As a trucker, man, I remember heading over there and swinging meat, and it's like, man, tell you what, those slaughterhouses. So I don't envy none of those people.
Yeah, I mean, we thought the tariffs were going to raise prices on pork. This will definitely jack prices up.
Oh, yeah. It's going to jack tobacco prices up, too. You watch.
Yeah, cigarettes, I mean.
Yeah. Nobody gives a shit, and it's not a commodity that's marked anymore, you know, for attention like it used to be, you know. I guess Rebel figured out my trick and decided not to come in. I passed it on to Rebel, the link, hoping he'd jump in. Hey, are there any fires in California? I mean, you know, the fucking news, when I finally wake up from my slumber, you know, and try and look and see what's going on for a minute. You know, one of the funny things is it's what happened with the fires? Is fucking California burned down yet? Or are we just hoping for a hurricane in California or whatever they call it on that coast? So that way the mudslides will start and they'll just slide into, you know, the Pacific.
HD, did you lock up? You still with us? I think he locked up.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because he's screen sharing on the inside, but it ain't screen sharing on the outside.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's gone just to his, yep, there he went.
Uh-huh.
So hopefully he'll be back in a minute. For the rest of you out there, we're here. Too bad I didn't come in on the dragon. Then I turn off my camera and we just call it a dragon and blame HC for all the shenanigans we'll pull.
Yeah, I made a little joke the other night when he went off air. He's going to drop out. And I said, when he dropped out, somebody said something and he commented in the side chat, don't cut out the shenanigans, don't trash his channel.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that to HD. I have a lot of respect for the man. And I've known him. I mean, you know, well, it's fun.
Yeah, we didn't go full-fledged, but we were kind of like creeping that way, and then everybody drew back real quick, and he's like, hey, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, this ain't our own stuff. This is HD's. We got to, you know, remember.
Well, that's what yeah.
This is a guy who I cannot actually remember if I've ever heard the man curse. In almost probably close to 10 years now, I've known him online. You know, 7, 8 maybe years. Anyway, I'm over exaggerating on the amount of time, but it's been a fucking long time, especially when you consider online is like, you know, every year is like fucking 10 anyway. You know?
Well, like, there's something going on. Every day's a new adventure in the world of stupidity. Just turn the news on and watch.
Hey, Saints, there's plenty of days I just got to turn it off and not, you know?
Yeah, I try to leave it off. That's right. That's like today, Joe Biden. I was telling HD earlier, now we're known as we were the deplorables. He said we were the dregs. Joe Biden said that Trump supporters included the dregs of society.
Okay. You know, and the funny part about it is I could agree with him because our president's supposed to represent everybody. right? Including the fucking dregs.
Amen.
Because in every society there are dregs, right? I, for a long time, lived in the world of dregs, right? Crime. Hey, look, crime and drugs and pornography and all that shit, and 10 years worth of my life on that shit, right? And more than that, but the dregs of society need to be represented, and you know what? Lucky Luciano is still a fucking American. That's why he had no problem with getting the Italians over there, the mafia over there, to fight for the Americans during World War II, right? He knew he was going to take advantage of it, but he still did it. The dregs of society still need to be represented. So if he represents them too, I'm okay with that. Because our president's supposed to represent even the people that he doesn't fucking like, which he does.
Yeah, I hated to see that what that guy put in the side chat a while ago, that a couple of Republicans had lost the race in Texas and looked like Ted Cruz was going to lose too.
Okay, I'm going to tell you something here. The funny thing is, right, the only elections that we've had, so no Republicans have lost, right, because they've only been primaries and pre-election bullshit.
Right.
Election day's coming, right? Election day's coming in November, and when it does, because remember there, Saints, before Trump was elected, right now it was 95% Hillary.
Yeah, Hillary was going to win. That's right.
2 years ago, that's all. I mean, they were talking about a blue wave. They were going to take over the Congress and, the House and the Senate and get the presidency. And it was going to be a glorious day. Do you not remember that? Especially at this time. 2 years ago, midnight, 9:17 Central Time, right? They were I was being force-fed that it was going to be a coronation for Queen Hillary and the Democrats were going to sweep. And it's funny how none of that appeared. They were 100% wrong, right? And now they're telling me the same thing, right? That all these people, right, all these Democrats are going to lose. Fucking Ted Cruz is going to lose to Benito O'Rourke, right? Turns out this motherfucker. Anyway, so I don't believe it until I see it any longer. And when they tell me the polls say this, I know they more than likely say that. You know what I mean? So I don't believe what they have to say, and we're going to have to see. They've been telling me it's going to be a red wave since Trump was blue wave since Trump was elected, right? Oh, there's going to be a blue wave in November 18, and they're going to take over everything and impeach his ass and put Hillary in and blah, 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 and they're going to throw out the fucking Supreme Court nominees and anybody who's sitting that Donald Trump seated. They'll throw his ass out, and we're going to redo it all. It's going to be, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Fuck that. That shit ain't happening. And if you think America's
I just hate it for Rachel Maddow. I just can't stand to see her cry again. That just breaks my heart.
Well, I can imagine, I don't pay attention to these people anymore, right? But I did come across a cool story just the other day, right? And it's Bernstein or Woodward, whichever one of them, right? The one that just wrote this fucking supposedly fiery book that blows up everything. Well, he said, look, there is no Russia collusion. None. They can't find any. And everything that Mueller's coming up with is all extraneous shit, right? None of it is connected to the Russian fucking collusion that's supposed to be happening. And he left it at that, right? But he came right out and said it. This is one of their fucking gods, right? One of these liberal gods saying it. So I'd love to hear fucking Maddow's reaction because she's just spent the past 2 years screaming about, well, almost 2 years now. We got what? Month and a half, 2 months before it's 2 years. And she's been screaming it since, what? Fucking November 10th or whatever it was. 2016, she's been screaming Russian collusion. Fuck. And the funny thing is just before Election Day in 2016, they were talking about how Donald Trump better accept this election. This is a free and fair election. He better accept the results, blah, blah, blah. And they kept that song and dance up all the way up until he started taking the country and winning the presidency. Then their tune changed, and they've been finding every way of changing this election since. So and in so exposing the deep state. At the same time, while actually getting some shit accomplished that he claimed he wanted to get accomplished. So yeah, that whole worrying about that blue wave that's coming, especially in Texas, I wouldn't worry as much, Saints. Sorry about the rant.
I don't know which way it's going to go. I just seen somebody in the external out there. I don't know where they were from, Texas or what, you know, where they was watching the polls. I just parrot what I seen road out there on the external.
Yeah, and I'm just letting them know, you know, because I really, and my family's probably super happy I'm ranting to you guys about this kind of shit because they've been getting earfuls at times. When I bother to turn on the news and go look at what the fuck is going on. But the stupid's getting so deep. The stupid's getting so insane that it's like, wow. I mean, how bad can you people really get? And it's like, do not have any expectations. Because if you expect that they can't get that bad, they're going to go lower. They're going to get worse.
Lower expectations.
Here's the deal. Buy ammo, train with some of it, keep a lot of it around, keep the stuff, you know what, keep the shittiest stuff that you train with around for what you're going to need, because that's what you're going to find if shit ever does hit the fan. You're not going to be finding that fucking great shit that you reload. You're going to be finding fucking Tula and Winchester White Box and finding fucking, 13 different brands from 17 different lots in a fucking ammo can if you're lucky. You know?
Yeah, that's what me and Saints were talking about at the kind of towards the beginning is, man, if we have a November like they're talking about, like ammo prices are going to go up now just because we're talking about like stuff like that.
And right now, ammo prices, at least for 7.62 239, are fucking awesome. They're lower than I've seen them in a long time. You can get them for about fucking between 16 and 18 cents a round, up to 20, 21, 22. But still, their prices are doing pretty good. And you can find shitty 223 for the same thing. And, that's why I picked up a 223 AK, was just so I can, and that takes AR mags, just because I live in America,
America.
And I'm training this motherfucker because I live in America, right? And that's what I'm going to find, or be taking off of dead bodies or whatever. I'm going to find a lot more of that, unless the Russians or the Chinese decide to airdrop us shit just to keep us killing each other, which are distinct possibilities. And that's why I got both. My AKs take both.
Hey, Mule, did you catch the beginning of the chat?
No, I've been, look, seriously, I've been doing a lot of stuff, and
I was just going to tell you, I was telling everybody at the beginning, I went to the post office and I forgot your and Jet's address. So I haven't sent your stuff yet, in case you were wondering.
Oh, okay. No, I wasn't wondering.
Yeah, You Can Do It did his unboxing this weekend. But when I went to the post office, I didn't have yours or Jet's address. So I'm going to try to get it out tomorrow. And we did a redrawing for one of the prizes. So Tommy Boy won the one. So
good deal. Awesome. Tommy Boy won. Good
well,
deal.
It's because the Illuminati, you missed it.
Huh?
The Illuminati won for Tommy Boy tonight.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Nice. Well, Tommy Boy's never won nothing. I remember he was bidding at the drawing when I watched it, because I went back after you hit me up. I was like, what? Okay. Oh, yeah. I gave you my address and I was like, okay, I'll go watch this thing. And I always read the live chat because I love that. I wish that feature would have been on when we were doing chats, where you can go back and watch it and watch the live feed, watch the live chat. And that's what I do. Yeah, I'll sit and watch the chat and read it. You know what I mean?
There's lots more information out there than there is in here.
Well, they're both good, right? And they always were, right? There was plenty of times when we were all doing it back in the day where we were actually talking to each other, everybody out in the chat and everybody in the chat. It wasn't always where they were totally separate, and lots of good information out there.
Hey, Dash Out's checked in. Hey, good evening, Dash Out. What's up? Dash, I still need to do a video I want to do a video about your custom Tinder kit. I haven't got around to it yet.
You know what I've been saving up for my Tinder in a couple of bags now is lint for my dryer.
Oh yeah, that's what's in my primary.
That's some of the best shit ever.
Yep, that's all my primary kit. Fire starter is just lint that's been in that pill bottle for probably 10 years or more.
You don't even know the dry, you know.
Yep.
My primary fire starter kit contains a white phosphorus grenade and a thermite grenade.
That might work.
I love you, buddy. Hell, that thermite will start a fire. That white phosphorus
will waste of a thermite grenade though to start a fire.
yeah, but that white phosphorus will kill you from the fumes as it starts the fire.
Yeah, I'd hold on to the thermite as long as I could. That'd be good uses for that.
Yeah. I know a lot of that. I was watching Cody's Lab. You ever catch Cody's Lab? If not, here's an old school YouTube shout out. Check out this YouTube video, YouTube creator that's called Cody's Lab. And he tells you how to make thermite even from foil. So you can even make thermite from tinfoil. So I was like, wow.
Aluminum and rust is all it is. That Lord Humongous dude, he sells it. He sells iron oxide or whatever, ferric oxide.
And the funny thing is, there's a lot of things. Aluminum powder is the other ingredient in tannerite, is second ingredient of binary explosive. So the same stuff, the same aluminum powder. Well, we're really going off the rails, HD.
Yeah, we're getting ourselves hooked right into NSA now.
You can buy it on you can buy it right off of YouTube.
Well, it's like that one guy, Lord Humongous. His whole thing is a whole website about tannerite.
Yeah, and thermite.
Thermite. I'm sorry, thermite. That's what I meant. Thermite.
Yeah, I know. I've been watching Lord Humongous for a long time. I always thought, when I first came across his channel years and years and years ago, I always said, man, he got the great name. He got a great name.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I was like, no. I was like, damn, that was such an awesome name. I always thought Mule Crew was such a shitty name, you know? And I was like, damn. Some people just caught it right. And who the fuck knew AK Guy wasn't fucking taken for so long?
What was taken?
AK Guy. When that guy got it, I was like, how the fuck did he get that name? How did nobody how did nobody put that in fucking YouTube and make it their channel?
You just jealous you didn't get it.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Right?
Oh, 100% I'll agree with that, you know? Same with Lord Humongous, you know?
Yeah, it's like I look at that and I'm like, that's a pretty cool name. I'm like, I wish I'd have thought something that cool. And I'm like, whatever. I'm not that creative.
For 5 seconds, I was impressed. You know,
if you got a cool name, people have high expectations. So,
yeah, right. Like Demolition Ranch. Maybe that's why he got so big. Was people just kept expecting him to be big because he had such a great name.
All right.
Still love that. Still love that dude. That dude does great videos. They're always fun to watch.
Who's that? Lord Humongous?
Him too, but Demolition Ranch.
Demolition Ranch. Yeah. Well, now that he moved to Vegas too, I'm like, man, him and Tony's gonna get together or something.
Did he move to Vegas? I thought.
Yeah, he's in Vegas now. He's been in Vegas for about 6 months or so.
And still owns the property out in Texas?
No. Lord Humongous.
Oh, Lord Humongous. Oh, okay. Yeah, I knew I was thinking of Demolition Ranch. I'm like, what the fuck? They moved to Texas. They moved to Vegas. They were in Vegas the other day doing airsoft versions of their custom guns. It was the last video I saw of his. Demo Ranch. Yeah, he moved out by Vegas and he's doing all kinds of desert shit now. And reviewing some cool old movies. He reviewed an old movie the other day. That was pretty good. I ended up watching it. Old prepper kind of shit at the fan movie for back in the 60s, early 60s.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the only funny thing was, the guys, it's funny watching millennials try and review old movies and they just don't get some of it. Like, why is this movie black and white? Color was around. I don't understand what it is. And it's like, you do realize that Night of the Living Dead was done in 69. This film was done in like 62, 63. And you know, that was in black and white because that was cheap film. It was much cheaper and easier to make it in black and white. And in a lot of ways, people now think it's cooler.
Right. It's all about the edges.
We're back in the day. You know how expensive fucking color was?
Yeah, now if it's black and white, people see it in black and white, they go, look, it's in thermal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it's just fun watching because they don't get it. They think they think some of it's just so they don't understand the fact that before they were born, shit was a little different, you know, or before they actually became conscious human beings at about 15, you know, shit was different. Whereas I know most of our generation being, you know, we grew up watching old movies because, you know, there wasn't this, life wasn't instantaneous at the time.
Well, everything's on demand now.
Yeah, but did you hear? Okay, so I'm not an Apple fan. Let me give you guys a little bit of info here, right? I'm not an Apple fan because way back in the day, when you first hooked up to Apple iTunes, they would wipe out all your previous, you know, Napster type music, right? Any shit that you stole, any shit that you recorded yourself, they would just wipe out your whole music collection and make you have to buy it from them. So I got rid of whatever product that was I had Apple on, and I'd never fucked with Apple ever again. And I still don't. And it turns out they're going to be doing that to all the movies people bought on iTunes now. They're just going to be wiping them out. Even if you bought them and you paid for them and they're supposed to be yours forever, well, they're just doing away with that. You're not going to get to keep them anymore. They're doing away with it. So if you thought you owned movies that you bought from iTunes, you don't, and they're taking it away. No refunds allowed. Bet Apple's glad they're in China.
Yeah, Google too. Google over there helping the enemy of the state.
Well, yeah, they have this whole social credit now, right? So if you're an enemy of the state, you can't do anything online, offline, whatever in society, right? If you have bad social credit. Everybody's going to kowtow to the Chinese. Google's already doing it. Apple's been doing it, right? Anybody who thinks anybody other than the Chinese is one of our major enemies at the time, then they're losing their goddamn minds. Anyway, gents, I got to go. It's getting late. The wife got home an hour ago, and I didn't stop in and say hi, and because I was talking to y'all, and my phone's dying at the same time. So,
thanks for dropping by. You always do good to get us off the rails a little bit.
Oh, all the time I try. And it was just reminded me of a you know, it's funny because the nights that you pick to do chats are all dragon nights.
Well, wasn't that pretty much every night? Except for like
no,
Friday.
Remember we did 3 nights a week originally. It was what was it? Like Mondays or Sunday,
Tuesday, Thursday,
and then Tony's Friday nights, right? Tony's Friday night drunk chats was the original 3, right? It was Thursday, Sunday, and Tony's Friday night drunk chat. And then it became almost every night.
I just did this one kind of off the cuff to kind of catch up, and I wanted to finish up the drawing there, so I want to do that live. And nothing.
Oh, believe me, tonight. And that's why I jumped in. I was like, "Hey, he's doing a great. Let me go in and say hey, see how everybody's doing." Right, and I'll go check out that video. That'll be cool of the unboxing because I mean, you know, I was going to be guilted into doing one by myself, but now I'm relieved that I don't have to do it through guilt. Somebody has already done it.
Nah, yeah, that's no worries.
Yeah, because I really don't make very many videos anymore. you know, and the few that I do, I just instantly post up to Facebook these days, you know, because like today I was out at Skydive Chicago with the grandson watching stuff like just too much stuff that's fun for me, and I don't share anymore. Just me and the grandkids, you know. I share with family, and that's it.
Right.
It's just it's you know, the way the world is these days, pulling back is the smartest thing, and keeping your house in order is way smarter than getting worked up over so much crap that I can't control. Anyway, like I said, I gotta go. You guys have a good night. Thanks for having me, HD. And you know, anytime I can jump in, I probably will.
All right. I know it.
So
You always got something to say. Bye. All right. What was that now about the Chinese there for a second?
That's everybody's new. That's Google's new home.
Hey, Tommy boy. Yeah, I got your email. We're good.
Tommy Boy, grand prize winner, man. He'll be high stepping tomorrow.
Lucky number 33.
Man.
You couldn't write that any better, right? I had a whole total lead in and everything.
No, you called it, dude. I should put some money on that when you called that one.
Oh, that was too good.
Buy a lotto ticket. See if your luck's holding.
Yeah, I need to go stock up, right? I'll be right back. I'm driving to California. Can you hold it down? Might take a little while. You hold it down for about 2 hours.
Yeah, been a while since I've done a lotto ticket myself. So,
well, where did Tony go? Tony was in the side chat and like he didn't jump in or nothing.
he must be having another birthday. I think he has a birthday party about every 2 weeks.
Oh, is that what it is?
It's evening time in Vegas. He's probably joining the crowd. It's happy hour.
Right. Linus Vilkus joined us out there in the side chat. Tommy Boy says he's got baggies of lint. Who needs any? And just on the topic, if anybody does look at saving your lint from your dryer, make sure you're not drying your polyester type clothing, like all the synthetics that you get nowadays. You want to make sure you're like doing your towels or something that's actually cotton and stuff, because the polyester, all that synthetic makeup in a lot of the clothes nowadays, it's not as effective. So make sure whatever load of you get out of the dryer for your lint is cotton and those natural fibers and stuff, because that synthetic stuff doesn't burn, like it melts.
Yeah, and get you some airflow when you start it, because it's probably going to smell like hair burning, because there's probably going to be a little bit of hair mixed in there with it.
Well, but it's natural fiber, so it's all good. Oh, man.
Hey, truth spoken here, dude. we're just letting you know where you won't smell that hair burning, thinking you're on fire or nothing.
Well, it should be in a well-ventilated area, right? Oh, goodness. Yeah,
I take on milk jugs. I've got a couple old milk jugs, and this was something I was going to try. I've got an old milk one down there that I've packed completely full of dryer lint, a milk jug. I mean, you can't push no more in it. I think I'm going to fill it up with diesel fuel and light it and see if it'll burn like a flambeau. One of those old road markers. I don't know. It may just do a meltdown.
Yeah, I mean, the plastic will melt at such a temperature
that the jug's going to catch on fire. Yeah, I'll probably just end up making a mess.
Like it'll all be combustible from the inside out or something?
I just wonder if you could stuff that in something and light, put fuel in it, light it, and it burn like a forever wick or something. But it'd stink, oh boy, it probably stink bad.
Yeah, you got to videotape it, whatever you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, videotape that. Hook it up.
Like a beer can or a Coca-Cola can, aluminum can, shove it full of dryer lint, fill it up with fuel, and see how long it'll sit there and burn, and put a clock on it.
Oh, that might be too bad. That'd be a little bit better,
Man, we're just innovating here. Now we've already got inventive.
Right.
I know they used to sell those old flambeaus. I call them flambeaus, the round road markers that they lit them on fire, you know, back before the LED and the batteries. They had the old road smudge pots, I guess you call it. And they'd burn 2 or 3 days, you know. You fill them up, they'd burn quite a while.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What were they burning? What was it made out of?
Kerosene or diesel fuel one.
Huh. Right on.
I know you can burn one of the things around. If you got a lot of bugs, it'll knock some of the bugs down. You know, that's why a lot of they burn the incense over in Southeast Asia, keep the bugs down, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, a good fire will keep the bugs away, get some smoke going. It's about the only positive, I guess.
Yeah, buddy, we got bugs this year.
You do? Yeah.
Yes, sir. You walk outside with a flashlight, in about a minute, you're swarmed with bugs.
All right, Saints. I think I went over my time anyway. I was just going to do a little bit shorter because with the giveaway, we're ready to check out. We'll shut this thing down. And we'll have one in the morning. When wants to drop by for the morning news review. We'll probably deviate from the hurricane talk since and the flooding and all that stuff. We've kind of beat that with a dead horse.
I tried to catch you. I guess it was your Saturday morning, Chad. It must have got derailed.
Oh, I didn't. I was lazy. Yeah, I was like, I'm not doing that. That is too busy.
Take a day off. Blame it on the weather.
Right. The weather's been great, though. I already said that.
Yeah, we didn't do the weather forecast because it was just too good to stay in here and do a weather forecast.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I paid hooky out on Saturday morning, so I have to make up for it. We'll kick it in tomorrow morning. Anything you want to say before we check out, Saints? Shout outs or anything?
No, I appreciate the invite. Appreciate everybody coming out. Hope you got something out of it other than a panic attack. Don't eat your preps up. Don't shoot up your ammo. I'm afraid they still gonna be a grand finale.
Yeah, thanks everybody in the side chat. Yeah, 520. I'm checking out, so we're gonna roll out of here. We'll link you up next time. Tommy Boy, thanks for checking in. Congratulations, Tommy Boy, for being the 3-3 winner.
Wow.
Oh man. Truth Freeze out there. Quasar joined us. Quasar nugs Trump. I can't. Why are you changing your name, Quasar? It just doesn't sound the same.
He's triggering people. He just did that to trigger people.
Right. Heat Seeker Bus. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the chat. Thanks for checking in. We're checking out, but you can always rewind to the beginning and kind of check out what we were talking about. Galinas Vilkas was with us, and we had a bunch more back at the beginning. Mark Herndon, I think he might still be held up on the road. I think he was on his rest period on his trucking day. All right, Tommy Boy, when we get that address, we'll confirm and we'll get your stuff out to you. But I appreciate everybody dropping in. We'll do the morning news in the morning, and I got to get my farm update posted too. We got some good results coming out of the garden and whatnot. So we'll talk to y'all later. Have a good night. Live free.